If you're new here, hi, I'm Amy Z. Beloved. I'm the host of Amy Z. Beloved and Friends, and today we are catching up with some Brian Laundrie. His sister Cassie urges him to come forward, and this is amid the nationwide search. ABC got an exclusive yesterday with Cassie. We saw her outside of her homes after she basically asked the protesters to stop screaming and that she didn't know anything further and that the public didn't know what the FBI needed to know.
Good morning, Michael. We have learned so much more about this case in the week since we last heard from Cassie Laundrie. It turns out she was also on that family camping trip that Brian took with his parents after he returned home without Gabby Petito. Cassie insists she still doesn't know where her brother is.
No, I do not know where Brian is. I'd turn him in.
Overnight investigation.
I really wish he had come to me first that day with the van because I don't think we'd be here. I worry about him. I hope he's okay. And then I'm angry and I don't know what to think. I would tell my brother to just come forward and get us out of this horrible mess. And I physically saw it, and the last time I physically spoke to my brother was on the 6th. I've tried to get in touch with him. Phone went to voicemail.
Cassie sharing this photo exclusively with ABC News, showing Brian and his 5-year-old nephew camping at Fort DeSoto Park with their parents 5 days before Gabby was reported missing.
We just went for a couple of hours and we ate dinner and had s'mores around the campfire and left. And there was nothing peculiar about it. There was no feeling of grand goodbye. There was nothing. I'm frustrated that in hindsight, I didn't pick up on anything. It was just a regular visit. It was not hidden from law enforcement. I've been cooperating with the police since day one. I have been in touch with law enforcement.
And now she's calling on her parents to do the same.
Justice for Gabby would look like having someone come forward and tell the truth. I don't know if my parents are involved. I think if they are, then they should come clean.
Cassie says her brother has taken multiple trips for up to 5 days at a time on the Appalachian Trail.
I wasn't sure about what he looked like. And then I went and parked and pulled up the photographs of him. And I'm 99.99% sure that was him.
Police have said they're factoring in Brian's reported skills living off the grid in their search for him. But Cassie says it's unusual for him to be gone for this long.
I'd say Brian's a mediocre survivalist. It wouldn't surprise me if he could last out there a very long time. But also, I don't think anything would surprise me at this point. If the FBI finds him in Timbuktu, I'd be like, all right, well, that's where he was. I've got nothing. I hope my brother is alive because I want answers just as much as everybody else.
Is there something on your cheek?
The body cam video from the Moab, Utah police encounter is hard to watch.
It's definitely painful to see everybody just be upset. It was pretty typical of them to argue and try and take space from each other. But people saying that they saw public domestic violence, I've never seen anything like that from either of them.
Now she wonders if more could have been done.
I definitely feel like if they had all of the 911 calls from the multiple people they said, that I think that it would have gone a lot differently and we'd be in a different situation.
Cassie says she's as concerned as she is for her brother. She is mourning for Gabby and wants her family to know her heart is with them.
I've been cooperating so that everyone gets answers. They deserve answers.
Gabby's parents sending a message to Brian on the Dr. Phil show.
If you truly loved her, you should turn yourself in.
I worry about him. I hope he's okay. And then I'm angry and I don't know what to think. I would tell my brother to just come forward and get us out of this horrible mess.
I cooperated with the police since September 11th when they called. I did not say that I saw my brother. I said I haven't been able to speak to him in reference to the time when I was called by the police. Since that point, I haven't been able to speak to my brother.
Where was Brian with you on September 1st? Did he come to this house?
Yes, he came to this house with my parents in their Mustang, not the van. I did not know that he took that van back. I found out the next day with everybody else. We are just as upset, frustrated, and heartbroken as everybody else. And I am losing my parents and my brother and my children's aunt and my future sister-in-law on top of this. And you're not helping.
Why your parents? Why your parents? You're talking about
Because
Krissy.
they're not talking to us either.
Why aren't they talking to you guys?
If I knew, I would say. I don't know.
Do you think they're involved, your parents?
I don't know.
You don't know.
100% honesty. September 11th night forward. We've been cooperative. They've
It's
come
just
over,
frustrating
we've met
because
them.
The family's upset because they're not getting the belongings from Gabby that are in your parents' home.
We have no idea what they have or
They
don't
won't
have.
they won't give them.
I don't know.
Parents have hung up the phone on them. I mean, it's just frustrating, you know.
I'd also like to say that, not to upset Mr. Petito any further, but I did not get any phone calls from him in the days prior to this September 11th. September 11th, I checked my phone records. I don't see any. He maybe had the wrong number for me.
Dead or alive? What do you think?
Well, I would assume, he is alive. Not alive and doing well, but he's alive.
And why do you say?
Well, there's no evidence of him being suicidal like that anywhere. And, he didn't say that to anyone. And if you'll go to his Instagram pages and look what kind of person he really is, and the books that he reads, and especially a very favorite book, that's not books for suicidal people.
Why would he hang around the area that he was last seen in this wilderness area if he knows there's going to be an intensive search? Why wouldn't he not escape knowing that he's getting a jump on everybody because his parents aren't calling the cops for 2 days?
Well, Harvey, he was down, he goes fishing or camping, whatever it's called, with his parents. While he's down here in that camp area, the bomb drops. Brian Laundrie hits national news. They are watching that on television and they're going, oh no. Then cell phones were bought, Harvey.
Right.
There was a canoe bought. If you're going out of the country, Brazil, you ain't use a canoe. I mean, there's a lot of things that all of a sudden, oh no, he can't go outside anymore. So while they're at this park, pardon the expression, all hell broke loose. So right then they had to make decisions. And since he's a survivalist, he's been on the Appalachian Mountains for 2 months at a time by himself. And, since he's a survivalist, that was the only thing to do is stash him. Now, is he here right now? I'm not sure. Is he here a few days ago? Absolutely. But he could have got out during night. Then he'd have to have help from, I guess it might be close to a family member. And, he's taken off somewhere else. I do not believe that he's in Mexico or Brazil or some of the stuff like that. I've been to Mexico, and if they know you're wanted and you're a Caucasian American, they're going to turn you in for the reward. And if you're doing that to children in America, the Mexicans think you're going to do that to our children here. So they turn you in, or you get beat up by the cartel and surrender to the authorities. So I think he's still up in this area. We have found several items, and we turned them over the day before yesterday to the FBI. So they're going to run DNA tests on what we found. And whatever we found was a couple days old. So hopefully, and just because, even if it's a positive, that doesn't say where he's at. We know he was here because we checked the park registration with his sister, his mom, his dad. Of course, they all said they hadn't seen him. We proved that to be a lie. So